50 million of the 75 million owner-occupied homes in the United States were mortgaged. 25 million were free and clear, so they were okay. But you literally had a crash.
In today's economy of businesses and entrepreneurship, the wise words of Warren Buffett are what every learning entrepreneur takes into consideration. Well known for value investing, Warren Buffett prefers to keep his investment strategies simple and not too complex, just so we can learn from this great financier. Today, we're going to give you a detailed look at Warren Buffett's take on building wealth during a recession. If you're looking for ways to prosper and make your business flourish, stay tuned till the end of this video for Warren Buffett's priceless knowledge. All of us with a basic amount of knowledge of the fundamentals of business are aware that recession is indeed harmful to the economy. In terms of Warren Buffett's knowledge of the recession economy, the investments are divided into 5 categories, each represented in chronological order, in the form of a pyramid. This pyramidal framework can be referred to as a scheme that uses to protect the investor from recession. Number 1. Assets denoted in a currency. Now, some of the worst possible investments one could make during a period of recession primarily include assets denoted in a currency. Now, this isn't something new, as we all know how much of a disadvantage this could be in an inflationary environment. During periods of recession or in a recession environment, it is only unfortunate for someone to own the currency that is presently undergoing inflation. There is no future when it comes to money just lying in your bank account or hidden in your piggy banks. As time goes by, there is only loss, as all the money has absolutely no increment and only loss. Let's take the dollar for instance. If we're going through a period of inflation of the dollar, the currency in itself isn't something we would encourage possessing in our portfolios. It's almost as if you're playing a game of cards, and in this game, you put all your faith and everything you have into the losing card. Number 2. Unproductive assets. The second worst investment you could make at a time when inflation occurs and the price of goods only keeps increasing is owning unproductive assets. Now, you may wonder what these assets are. These assets aren't anything complex. They involve assets like property of land or gold, or even the house you own. It could even be assets in the form of art or antiques. Surprisingly, to own such assets is only unfortunate at a time of inflation. Now, it would be wrong to say that these assets are of absolutely no value, as they are valuable to an extent. But the value is only more profitable if these assets are able to maintain their price. But even if assets of this kind do have a maintained value, they don't indicate any signs of increment or gain. Hence, it isn't considered much of a profit to own such assets during a period of increase in the value of goods, but we cannot categorize them as completely worthless either. As Warren Buffett explained with the example of putting together all the gold in the world in the form of a cube, that cube isn't going to do anything. It's just going to sit there with absolutely no increment, but simultaneously still maintain its own value. Its value is going to remain the same beat even 20 years from now. That's exactly what happens with unproductive assets when the financial industry undergoes inflationary pressure. Number 3. Ordinary or average productive assets. The third on the list is average or productive assets. This is a sort of middle-of-the-road kind of category that has its equal share of advantages and disadvantages. Now, as we mentioned earlier, unproductive assets prove useful in maintaining their original value over time. But rather than just that, we prefer increasing our values, as that is the whole point of prospering in the economy. Now, the assets which are guaranteed to provide us with valuable services or products are referred to productive assets. Now, anyone who has been a follower of the great Warren Buffett knows how much interest he takes in investing stocks and businesses. But with all the wisdom he has, he advises steering clear from certain businesses. Now, the businesses that Buffett advises people to challenge themselves with during a period of recession are the ones that demand large sums of money just to keep the business going. During a period of inflationary pressure, it is absolutely unprofitable to earn more, but also meet the large money requirements just to keep the business afloat. Though it may sound like your business is doing quite well, it is only obvious that there is no gain from it, and you are stuck in the same place you began. According to Buffett, these are some of the worst kinds of earnings. Businesses that require entrepreneurs to keep submitting sums of money while giving you an average earning is more of a trap than a success. Another sort of business you wouldn't want to be a part of is a business that does not have any pricing power. Which are these? You might wonder. We all know that during an inflationary period, just as prices increase, companies also increase their value simultaneously. But during this period, there are a bunch of unfortunate businesses that cannot even increase their value. Contrary to the belief that inflation makes everything's price increase, there is a great deal of time required for that to happen. And of course, last but not least, there's the obvious business you should stay away from. And those are businesses that consist of any of the assets we have mentioned yet. These kinds of businesses are referred to as businesses possessing lazy assets. This could also occur in the case of banks, insurance businesses, and loans being greatly affected during these inflationary periods. This happened back in the late 1900s, and those incidents have made it ever so evident that during a period of cost-push recession, we wouldn't want to be anywhere around businesses of this sort. Number 4. Profitable productive assets. We already spoke of the average productive assets and how they aren't the best investment options during a hot economy. Now we're getting into the good investments, and profitable production assets are one of those wise choices. As Buffett stated in an interview, it can be debated that if you own a business that does not require much capital investment and has perfect price flexibility in the hot economy, enough for people to compensate for their work time to buy your product and have capitalized it, this could make it possible even to overcome the rates recession during a period of recession pressure. But through proper study of this category, not even these investments can assure or guarantee entrepreneurs of 100% profit. As Warren Buffett stated, a good business isn't always a good purchase, although it's a good place to look for one. In the case of productive assets involving farmlands or rental properties, Buffett hasn't detailed much about them. These kinds of properties do require a certain amount of money to keep them afloat, but can also be leveraged or capitalized to an extent. Number 5. Earning power of the investor. Finally, we've come to the last and the best investment to make according to Warren Buffett's pyramid scheme, and that is nothing but your own earning power. The best and ultimate way to overcome recession is to keep strengthening yourself. In simpler words, you are the most important investment. You have full control over its growth. Warren Buffett strongly advises investors to invest in themselves above all. That is a way of making yourself more valuable in the eyes of people, which is one of the first steps to not only overcoming recession, but also prospering in the financial economy. Now, there are several ways one can invest in themselves. Some of the many ways Warren Buffett prioritizes when it comes to self-investing include investing in improving your leadership skills. You have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet in the world of finance and business. Businesses are all about being independent and being confident enough to lead a group of people dedicated to your work. Buffett mentions time after time how in every leader one must be able to find a non-negotiable characteristic. The non-negotiable characteristic that he refers to here is none other than integrity. Buffett stated once, "We look for 3 things when we hire people. We look for intelligence, we look for initiative or energy, or we look for integrity. And if they don't have the latter, the first 2 will kill you. Because if you're going to get someone without integrity, you're going to get them lazy and dumb." He also encourages investors to improve their business relationships and form stronger bonds and connections with the people they chose to get involved with. Alright guys, those were some of the priceless, most valuable pieces of advice from the successful and renowned Warren Buffett himself. Did you find this video helpful? Let us know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, make sure you don't forget to smash that like button and give our video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos of this kind and click on the tiny bell icon to never miss out on any of our upcoming videos.